Hey everybody, it is Mr. Odom, and we are going to look at some problems from section 3.4. So, sorry, make sure you have your pencil, composition book or notebook paper to take notes. You might need a calculator, you might not. And the learning target for this video is I can solve equations. And in section 3.4, we solve equations a little bit different than when we solved them in section 3.3. We're going to be using the multiplication and the division property of equality to solve these equations. So I'll jump right in and get started. So let me write this problem down. Negative, actually I need some more space here. Let me scoot this over a little bit. Negative 5t equals negative 45. And I want to get t all by itself. Notice negative 5t is the same as saying negative 5 times t. So that's a multiplication problem. The inverse operation for multiplication is division. So let me divide by negative 5. And if I do that on this side of the equation, the division property of equality says I need to do it on this side, or the equation's no longer equal. So when I do that, look what's happening over here. Negative 5 in the numerator cancels with negative 5 in the denominator, and I end up with 1 times t, which is t, and t divided by 1, which is still t. And then over here, I have to remember the division rules. They have the same sign, so my answer will be positive. And I can check this to make sure it's correct. I can write down the problem. Negative 5t equals negative 45. I can substitute. I have negative 5 times 9, and that equals negative 45, and negative times positive is negative, so this is negative 45 over on this side. That equals negative 45 on this side. So by checking my answer, it tells me that this is the correct solution. All right, let's look at number 10. Number 10 is k divided by negative 3 equals 9. So this time I am dividing by negative 3. So let me multiply by negative 3 on this side. And I'm just going to put that over 1, so that way I can do the multiplication with these fractions over here. On this side of the equation, I also need to multiply by negative 3. Okay, look what happens here. The negative 3 cancels with the negative 3 here, and I end up with just k over on this side. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. Is this correct? Well, we can check it. So k divided by negative 3 equals 9. Let me scroll this a little bit. Let me substitute negative 27 divided by negative 3. Does that equal 9? And negative 27 divided by negative 3 actually is 9. So these are equal. So that means k equals 27 is the solution. I just checked this answer, and it is correct. All right, and number 18, I have negative, and I can skip this over too, so we have room, negative 14.4 equals negative 0.6 times p. All right, let's divide both sides by negative 0.6. Why? Because I was multiplying here. And the inverse operation for multiplication is division. That cancels all that out over there, and I'll end up with p. Now, what did I forget to do? Well, if I divide this side by negative 0.6, I have to divide this side by negative 0.6 as well. This is one. Hey, if you need to jump on your calculator, then go ahead and jump on it, and you'll end up with p equals 24. And is this the correct answer? Well, we can check it. Let's write the equation down. Negative 14.4 equals negative 0.6p. And let me substitute. So I have negative 14.4 on this side of the equation. On this side, I have negative 0.6 times 24. And if you put that in your calculator, you will see that on this side I have negative times positive, so my answer will be negative. You'll end up with 14.4 on that side. So negative 14.4 equals negative 14.4. So I get the same value on both sides, which means that p equals 24 is the solution to this equation. All right, one more to go. It's down here somewhere. Where to go? Right there. So let me write this one down. 8 equals negative 2/5 times c. So think of this negative 2/5. That looks like a fraction or rational number. And I'm multiplying by c. So there's something different we can do when we have, I'm going to make some more space here. Let's scoot this over a little bit. When we have a fraction as our coefficient, all right, what we can do is we can multiply this fraction by its reciprocal. Okay, so when you have a fraction that's a coefficient, multiply by the reciprocal. Why? What happens? Well, the negative times a negative makes a positive. But the 5 in the numerator cancels with the 5 in the denominator. The 2 in the numerator cancels with the 2 in the denominator. And I end up with all of this just being 1. 1 times c is just c. But since I'm multiplying by negative 2/5 on both sides, or I'm sorry, negative 5/2 on both sides, I need to multiply this side by negative 5/2. Okay, and I'll put this over 1, and then we can go ahead and do this multiplication here on the left side of the equation. The 2 cancels with the 8, and I end up with negative 5 times 4, which is just negative 20. All right, and let's see if this is our correct answer. So let me write the equation down. Negative 2/5 times c. Let me substitute. So I have negative 2/5 times 20, and this is negative 20, and I will put it over 1. That way I can do the multiplication with those fractions. And let's see, 8 equals negative times negative is positive. That's good. This is positive 8. The 5 and that 20, they cancel each other out, right? That leaves 4, and then this leaves 1. And negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. So this is the solution to the equation. All right, so that's how we solve equations using multiplication and division. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have questions for me, make sure you bring them to class. I'd love to help you to understand this stuff. This is Mr. Odom. I'm out. You guys have a good day. You're awesome.